Welcome to Headline Surface Public Candidate Debate here on a lively Monday night. To my right is Bob Pohlmann, City Councilman. To my left is Drew Bastian, candidate for the same District 3 seat. Our second debate will feature Dave Hood and Christina Kephart for the State Representative seat. And the final debate will be between incumbent Joshua Wagner of the County Council and Nancy Epps, Ponce Inlet's former mayor, and his challenger. Each of the participants will have 1 minute for an opening introduction, and we'll start with the challenger first.
Good evening. Thank you for coming out and attending tonight, taking time away from your families and everything. I really appreciate it. My name is Drew Bastian. I'm a candidate for Port Orange City Council District 3, which is a citywide election. And I decided to run because the citizens of Port Orange deserve a representative who will fight for their safety and spend their tax dollars wisely. And when elected, I intend to do just that, and I also intend to keep Port Orange safe, beautiful, and affordable. Thank you.
Councilman Pohlmann?
Yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Bob Pohlmann. I'm a two-term City Council incumbent. I'm running for re-election because I think it's only fair to our citizens that we continue to offer the city services that we have offered to what our citizens expect. We have a quality of life in Port Orange that is far superior to other communities in Volusia County. I certainly want to see us continue with our quality of life. I believe that we offer a very good value for the amount of time that we, for the amount of tax rate that we pay here. We have not raised taxes in 5 years. I want to see us continue with that. We have a very good team working here on the City Council, and we certainly have put our citizens their needs foremost in all decisions that we make are based on what's good for our 56,000 residents.
Thank you. Mr. Bastian,
Yes.
tell us what overriding issue over any other gave you the impetus to run for this position.
I saw the need for change. I'm unhappy with my current representative and city leadership in general. Saw a need for a change and decided to continue my community service. Retired as a firefighter, and this is my next step in community service. So I deeply want this position very badly.
Councilman Pohlmann, we often hear the term change from the last general election with President Obama. Is it easy for challengers to make that statement?
Well, of course it's easy. Running, all politics is local, and being at the city council level takes really a lot of work, and certainly a lot of in-depth knowledge. Takes years to master what the issues are, and how the system works, and so on. So, yeah, basically, I do believe it's an overused term. I think the citizens of Port Orange have been very happy with the services that they've received, so the need for change, I think, is negligible. I'm proud of the accomplishments that we've had as a city council. We've worked together very well as a team, as I mentioned earlier. We don't always agree on issues. We're pretty complex in our preparation coming to city council members.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
Out of time. Well, let me do a follow-up with you.
Sure.
As an incumbent, you're a two-term incumbent. What would be left for you to achieve in a third term, 4-year term?
Okay. Well, the city of Port Orange continues to have development issues that we're at 56,000 residents right now. We're going to have to build that at about 75,000. We have a large-scale residential development happening in the southern part of Port Orange. We have redevelopment that we'd like to start, certainly down here at the Ridgewood Avenue corridor. We have a big drainage issue coming up along Dunlawton, and we certainly are looking forward to setting up a large-scale athletic complex over on the west side of the district. So there's still, even though I'm here 8 or 9 years, actually 9 years, there's still a lot to be accomplished. We're still a growing city. Again, we're 56,000. We're going to 75 at some point in the future. There's a lot of commercial development coming on board. And of course, our commercial development is good because it keeps our residential property tax rate down. So it's important that we have good, clean, wholesome expansion of our tax base.
Candidate Bastian, you often hear incumbents say, I want to continue the work I've done. You say that this incumbent is no longer needed in the job or is past his time. Can you give us some examples to demonstrate that?
Well, he mentioned a few minutes ago about providing the services that the citizens are accustomed to, and his past history, they've cut services that people are really accustomed to and they need. Flu shot program eliminated. It was a revenue generator. It was eliminated by the past council. Public education in the schools eliminated. We no longer have a public education specialist. The children are not getting a firefighter figure to come in and teach them basic fire safety, stop, drop, and roll, exit drills in the home. All that has been eliminated under his watch. And I think it's important to touch those children in elementary school when their minds are like sponges. They're learning. My wife's a teacher. The teachers were extremely disappointed that the program was eliminated.
Councilman Pohlmann, it's unusual that the challenger would be saying there needs to be more programs, whereas the incumbent would be being on the defensive about these programs, but you've cut some of these. Are these considered essential programs or non-essential?
Well, let's talk about the flu shot program first. And I'm more than happy to bring the flu shot program back at any time. I personally will be the first one to step up to the plate and volunteer to offer that service if anybody else would like to volunteer to offer that service. I don't think any type of medical needs for a community should be based on a for-profit business. And it's very difficult when you're paying time and a half for people to administer that program. I think that hurts our residents. I'm all in favor of a flu shot program if that's important, if that's necessary for our citizens. I'm willing to go back to that, but not at the cost that it was being offered to our citizens. I think it was excessive cost. The time and a half that we had to pay for personnel did not make it cost effective. Plus, the many other organizations, drugstores and so on, offer that service also. So to harp on the flu service program doesn't really make any sense. I think it was a wise decision for the city, simply because we could no longer afford those costs. Public education in schools, my wife is a teacher also, and I don't see why we can't still have a public education in schools. We certainly have enough firemen on force.
She was eliminated. You voted to eliminate.
Okay, I don't expect to be interrupted. The public education in schools, I'm happy to offer that also. If we want to bring that back, if we certainly can set that up. We have enough firemen on board at any time to bring firemen in the schools.
Challenger Bastian, is there something more significant than flu shots in this election? I mean, the flu shots you can get at Walgreens, you can get at Walmart, you can get it at any number of drugstores.
They won't come to your car and administer it in your vehicle. The firefighters consistently did that for elderly residents. They could pull up to the bay of the fire station and receive a flu shot in their vehicle.
I guess
Walmart and CVS cannot do that.
I guess the next question for you, Challenger Bastian, is what are the 3 top issues in this election for you? 3 top issues.
3 top issues are keeping the city safe, and that's properly staffed departments, and doing it as efficiently as possible, saving taxpayer dollars at all costs.
Councilman Pohlmann, is the city safe?
Absolutely. We have the finest police department, we have the finest fire department. This is not an issue about the job that either one of them do. We are extremely pleased, and every single council member has always expressed that we appreciate the job that our firemen do each and every day. It is not an issue about the jobs that they do every day. We appreciate what they do. I have seen them work many times at my school. I've seen them work with my parents. I believe even my challenger, Mr. Bastian, has been at my parents' house many times when they were alive. So it's not about that. Public safety is the #1 priority for our citizens. At the same time, we have to understand what is affordable for our taxpayers. We have 56,000 residents who, again, are used to a very good, being provided a very good public safety service. But there are other things that we like to offer our citizens also. You know, we have parks, clean parks and recreation. We have great community development. We have wonderful public utilities, public works. These are all part of what makes a good community. Port Orange is a full-service community. We certainly want to continue with that. Again, we are doing what's best for our taxpayers. We have not raised a single tax in the last 5 years, and even this past fiscal year, we've lowered the tax rate by 5%. So we've done a good job in Port Orange.
At this point, I'd like to, I should have made this clear at the beginning for both candidates. I'd like to kind of just stick to the basic question and answer and avoid speeches about, you know, and only because you'll repeat the same thing after a while. Challenger Bastian, tell us about the unfunded firefighters' pension and what you would do to make that system better, situation better.
Okay. This is an issue of concern for everyone. We have to understand how we got there. Many years of poor returns in the stock market, obviously. I mean, not many plans are doing well.
I think everyone knows the entrenched economy.
Yes, based on investments. In 2000, when the plan was well funded, we had 3 people collecting a benefit. I think we have 37 or 38 monthly, collecting benefits now. So we have many retirees, and the city has paid the recommended minimum payment through the years, with the exception of the last 2 years where they've exceeded the recommended minimum and left the money into the plan. So the firefighters agreed to reasonable benefits, reasonable benefit reductions, and to dramatically increase employee contribution. And from a quote from Bob in his paper, he said in 2 of the 3 pension plans we're seeing a reduction in the unfunded liabilities due to negotiated agreements and higher contribution levels from employees. We've been trying to increase the employee contribution level in the fire department for 4 years. Every offer repeatedly turned down, time and time again.
Councilman Pohlmann, let's be real about this. The state pension fund is hurting. How long can we go before the system has to be revamped?
It's not the state plan, it's our local plan. And the question was, how long can we go?
Yeah.
Well, that's a very good question. I also sit on the fire pension board, so I want that to be known also. So I do believe that there's a genuine effort on behalf of the pension board to make sure that we're doing things to get that unfunded liability down. There have been some issues. Yes, there's been offers from our fire unions that have been pretty attractive, but there's a lot of issues that are attached along to that. So what is it that we can do? Is that what your question is? Right. What is it that we can do? Well, obviously we're going to have a reduction of some kind in benefits, and we're going to have an increase in contributions. It's the only way the plan is going to be sustainable for the long term. Otherwise, we're headed down towards bankruptcy. This is what it's going to come down to.
Now, I'll continue with you, Councilman Pohlmann. Tell us about the big development along the river and why it's taken so long to get that thing going.
Well, again, you have what's going on down there. Of course, is you have different participants. You have people. We've had a big plan going on down there since 1998. It's easy to say that the thing has been a failure, but it really hasn't. Unless somebody steps up to the plate with large or deep pockets, it's simply not going to happen. I believe eventually something will come out of the ground. I don't think it'll be as grandiose as it was initially. What's going to happen is the city has invested about $5.7 million down there in the hopes to stimulate some type of activity down there. We've purchased property down there as a long-term investment. Everybody is going to take a loss on down in that area as far as land values go. We're looking to switch some properties down there right now. But anyway, getting to the reason why it has not come out of the ground, it's the same thing as why the pensions haven't flourished. There's just an economic condition in America that's made people very wary of making major millions of dollars worth of investment down there. So I don't think it's anybody can be faulted for that not happening. I believe something will start, and I think we're pretty close to having the first development going on down there, and hopefully that'll stimulate some others. But it's because of the economy. That's as simple as that.
Okay, thank you.